In this session, we're going to look at controlling the user input. Currently, if they click on Easy, they can enter in a number, and that's what we're expecting them to do. But the current rendered number is 5. But what happens if they type the word 5 in and go Submit? What we get is too low, so it's actually processed the incorrect information. So how do we go about fixing that error and stopping, say, a counter from counting that as a guess, unless you really want it or you want to penalize them? Or how do we give them some user feedback? So what we're going to be doing is error trapping the input for the text field. So to do that, we're going to have to find the game page, because that's the page it's occurring on, and we need to look at our existing code. So we're going, if the page is posted, we then grab the user guess, and then we process the user guess by saying, is the user guess the same as the number 2 guess? But before we do this processing here to work out if they're a winner or not, we really want to check to see if that user guess is correct. When PHP brings in from the post method user guess and then stores it in a session variable, it doesn't really care if it's an integer, a varchar, or a char. It will just store that data for us, and that's the good thing about PHP flexibility. But what we want to do is actually check the contents of user guess and make sure that it is a numerical number. So let's do that. To check, we need to use an if statement. So we're going to use if. And then we're going to set up the session. So we're going to use an open brace and then a close brace. So let's put the condition in there. We know that the information is now stored in a session variable called user guess, and we want to check that. So if this variable, and what we want to check with this variable, and we can use a function built into PHP to say, well, is it numeric? So if is underscore numeric, and then check the session variable. So this is saying now if this variable is numeric, so if it turns back true, so it's not text but actually a numerical number, I'll just remove the space out of here, then we're going to do this part here. So if it is a inputted numerical value, we actually want to process that. So that's where this code will go. So you've entered in a numerical number, therefore I'm going to check it. But if they haven't done that, now remember to line up your brackets, this part here will then become the else. We want to let them know that they've done the wrong thing. So let's echo out a message to the user. So this way, if you wanted to, you could process a guess and increment that counter. Or if they enter in char or in information like varchar, you can just give them a warning. So let's just save this and have a look. So let's go back a page. Let's start a medium game. The answer is 2. So let's put in, say, the number 5. Too high. Let's put in the number low, 1. Let's put in the number 2, TWO. Go submit. Oh, and now I've got an error up the top. So I probably want to, stylize that a little bit and put a break tag. So I might just put the break tag in now. So let's just error out a break tag, and then we'll place a couple of break tags on the end. Now, if we enter TWO and the number 2, submit, same problem. But if I enter in the number 2, submit, we're a winner, and we can go back and play again. So this is how we can control user input and look at what they've entered and is numeric. And if they haven't done the right thing, let the player know. So I hope you found this tutorial useful, and I'm sure you'll be able to find other applications for this in your programming.